of our town is Grover's Corners, New Hampshire. It's right across the line from Massachusetts. Latitude 42 degrees 40 minutes, longitude 70 degrees 37 minutes. The first act is a day in our town. The date is May 7th, 1901, and it is just before dawn. Just about. The sky is beginning to show some streaks of light in the east here behind our mountain. The morning star. It's always so wondrously bright just before it has to go. Well, now, let me show you how our town lies. Up front here, this is Main Street, and cutting across it to my left is the railroad tracks. On the other side of the tracks is Polish Town. Foreign people who come here to work in the mill. A couple of Canuck families and the Catholic Church. The Congregational Church is right here. The Presbyterian Church is across the street. The Methodist and the Unitarian churches are over here. The Baptist Church is there in the holler by the river. Post office. Right next to the post office is our town hall. Our jail is in the basement. Brian once gave a speech from these stairs here. Up and down Main Street, we have a row of stores. They have hitching posts and horse blocks in front of them. The first automobile is coming in about 5 years, and it is owned by Banker Cartwright. He's our town's richest citizen, lives up in the big White House up here on the hill. We have the grocery store, Mr. Morgan's drugstore, and most everybody in town, they manage to look into these stores about once a day. This is our doctor's house, Doc Gibbs. This is his back door, and this is a trellis. This is for people who feel that they have to have some scenery. Over here we have Mrs. Gibbs's garden. And she's corn, peas, beans, hollyhock, heliotrope, and that is a lot of burdock. In those days, our newspaper came out twice a week, the Grover's Corners Sentinel, and this is Editor Webb's house. And Mrs. Webb's garden, which is an awful lot like Mrs. Gibbs's garden, except she has sunflowers too. And here, this is a great big butternut tree. This is a nice town. You know what I mean? Nobody very remarkable ever came out of it, as far as we know. The oldest dates on the tombstones up in the cemetery are 1670, and they are Grovers and Cartwrights and Hershey's and Gibbs's, the same names that we have here today. Well, like I said, it is early morning, and the only lights on in town are across the tracks. A Polish mother just gave birth to twins. And up at Joe Prowse place, Joe Jr., he's getting ready to deliver the morning paper. And over at the train depot, Shorty Hawkins, he is getting ready to flag the 5:45 to Boston. And there it is. Of course, out in the country all around, the lights have been on for a long time, milking and so forth. But town folk sleep late. Yet another day has begun. And there is Doc Gibbs. He's working his way down to Main Street, coming back from the baby case. Here's his wife come down to make breakfast. Doc Gibbs died in 1930. They have named the new hospital after him. Mrs. Gibbs died first, a long time ago, in fact. She had gone to visit her daughter, Rebecca, who married an insurance man in Canton, Ohio, and she died there, pneumonia. But they brought her body back here, and she's buried now up in the cemetery, up with a whole mess of Gibbses and Herseys. She was Julia Hersey before she married Doc Gibbs in the Congregational Church right over there. In our town, we like to know the facts about everybody. This is Mrs. Webb. She's come down to make her breakfast too. And that is Doc Gibbs. He got that call to go to Polish Town at 1:30 this morning. Joe Crowell, delivering Editor Webb's paper.
Morning, Doc.
Morning, Joe.
You want your paper now?
Yes, I'll take it.
Anybody been sick, Doc?
No. A pair of twins over in Polish Town. Joe, I see your teacher, Miss Foster, is going to get married.
Yes, sir. To a fellow over in Concord.
Well, I declare. How do you boys feel about that?
Well, it ain't none of my business, but I think if a person starts out to be a teacher, she ought to stay one.
How's your knee, Joe?
Fine, Doc. I never think about it at all. Except like you told me. It always tells me when it's going to rain.
Well, what's it telling you today? Is it going to rain?
No, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
That knee ever make a mistake?
No, sir.
I want to tell you folks something about that boy, Joe Crowell there. He was awful bright. He graduated head of his class here from our high school, won a scholarship to Boston Tech, MIT, that is. He graduated head of his class there too. It was in all the Boston papers at the time. He was going to be a great engineer, Joe was. And then the war broke out and he died in France. All of that education for nothing. What business he had picking a quarrel with the Germans. We can't figure that out to this day. It made perfectly good sense to us at the time.
Giddy up, Bessie. Oh, what's the matter with you?
This is Howie Newsom, delivering the milk.
Good morning, Doc.
Morning, Howie.
Somebody's sick.
Pair of twins over to Mrs. Gorslowski's.
Who's that? This town's getting bigger every year.
Going to rain, Howie?
Oh, no. Fine day. It'll burn through. Aw, come on, Bessie.
Hello, Bessie. How old is she, Howie?
I'm going on 17 now. Bessie's all mixed up about the route. Ever since the law cart stopped taking a quart of milk every day. Once they give him a quart just the same, he scold me the whole trip.
Good morning, Howie.
Well, good morning, Miss Gibbs. Doc's just coming down the street.
Is he? Seems like you're late today.
Something went wrong with the separator. Don't know what it was. Doc?
Howie?
Children! Children, it's time to get up! George, Rebecca!
Come on, Bessie.
Everything all right, Frank?
Yes, I declare. Easy as kittens.
Make them be ready. Here, sit down and have some coffee. You can catch a couple hours sleep this morning, can't you?
Well, Mrs. Wetwood's coming at 11. I guess I know what it's about, too. Her stomach isn't what it ought to be.
Don't know what's going to become of you, Frank Gibbs. I do wish you could go away someplace and get some rest. I think it would do you good. Emily, it's time to get up. Wally, it's 7 o'clock. I declare you've got to speak to George. Seems like something's come over him lately. He's no good to me at all. Can't even get him to cut me some wood.
Is he sassy to you?
No, he just whines. All he thinks about is that baseball. George, Rebecca, you'll be late for school. George!
George, look sharp.
Yes, Pa.
Don't you hear your mother calling you?
Wally, you'll be late for school.
Ooh. I guess I'll go upstairs and take 40 winks.
Wally, wash yourself good or I'll come up there and do it myself.
Ma, what dress shall I wear?
Don't make a noise. Your father's been out all night and he needs his rest. I washed and ironed a green dress for you special.
Oh, Ma, I hate that dress.
Rebecca, hush with you.
Every day I go to school dressed like a sick turkey.
Now, Rebecca, you always look very nice.
Mama, George is so insulting
I'll come up there and slap the both of you. That's what I'll do.
me. We have a mill in our town, too. You hear it? The Cartwrights own it. Makes blankets and making them a fortune.
Wally, why do you keep bothering me while I'm in the bathroom? It takes so long.
Children, now I won't have it. Breakfast is just as good as any other meal, and I won't have you gobbling it like wolves. It'll stunt your growth. That's a fact. Wally, put away your book.
Oh, Mom, by 10 o'clock I'm going to know all about Canada.
You know the rules well as I do. No books at the table. That's for me. I would rather have my children healthy than bright.
Well, I'm both, Mama. You know that I am. I'm the brightest girl in school for my age. I have a wonderful memory.
Eat your breakfast. I'll speak to your father about it when it's rested, but it seems to me 25 cents a week's enough for a boy of your age. I declare I don't know how you spend it all.
Mom, I got a lot of things to buy.
Strawberry phosphates. That's what you spend it on.
Well, I don't see how Rebecca comes to have so much money. She has more than $1.
I've been saving it up gradual.
Well, dear, I think it's good to spend some every now and then.
Mama, do you know what I love most in the whole world, do you? Money.
Eat your breakfast.
There's the first bell. Gotta go.
Now walk fast. Yeah, but you don't have to run. Wally, pull your pants up. Tell Miss Foster I send her my best congratulations. Can you remember that?
Yes, Mom.
You look real nice, Rebecca.
Pick up your feet.
Here, tick, 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 tick. No, you go away, you. Here, tick, 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 tick. What's wrong with you? Fight, fight, fight. That's all you do. You don't belong to me. Where'd you come from, anyway? Now, don't be scared. No one's gonna hurt you. Good morning, Myrtle. Hey, how's your cold? I still have that tickly feeling in the back of my throat. I told Charles I didn't know if I would make it to choir rehearsal tonight.
Have you tried singing over your voice?
Yes, but I can't manage to do that and stay on key. I thought while I was resting myself, I would string some of these beans.
Well, let me help you. Beans have been good this year.
Mm-hmm. Promised myself I'd put up 40 quarts if it kills me. The children say they hate them, but I noticed they managed to get them down all winter.
Now, Myrtle, I've got to tell you something, because if I don't tell someone, I'll burst.
Why, Julia Gibbs.
Myrtle, did one of those secondhand furniture men from Boston come by and see you last Friday?
No?
No. Well, he called on me. First, I thought it was a patient wanting to see Dr. Gibbs, and he wormed his way into my parlor. And Myrtle went He offered me $350 for Grandmother Whitworth's highboys I'm sitting here.
Why, Julia Gibbs.
He did! That old thing. Why, it was so big I didn't know where to put it. I almost gave it to cousin Mr. Wilcox.
Well, you're going to take it, aren't you?
I don't know.
You don't know? $350. What's come over you?
Well, if I can get the doctor to take the money and go away someplace on a trip, I'd sell it like that. You know, Myrtle, it's been the dream of my life to see Paris, France. Sounds crazy, I suppose. For years I've been promising myself if we ever got the chance.
Well, how does Doctor feel about it?
I did beat about the bush a little and said if I get a legacy, that's the way I put it, I'd make him take.
What do you say?
Oh, you know him. I haven't heard a serious word out of him since I've known him. Nope, he said, might make me discontented with Grover's Corners to go traipsing about Europe. Better leave well enough alone, he says. Every 2 years he makes the trip to see the battlefields of the Civil War, and that's enough treat for anyone, he says.
Well, Mr. Webb just admires the way the doctor knows everything about the Civil War. Mr. Webb's of a mind to leave Napoleon and move over to the Civil War. Only Dr. Gibbs's knowing everything about the Civil War, it just makes him despair.
Well, it's a fact. Dr. Gibbs is never so happy than when he's at Antietam or Gettysburg. The times I walked over those hills, Myrtle, stopping every bush, pacing it all out, as if we were going to buy it.
Well, if that second-hand man is serious about buying it, Julia, you sell it. You'll get to see Paris, all right. Just keep dropping little hints from time to time. That's how I got to see the Atlantic Ocean, you know.
Well, I'm sorry I mentioned it. Only it seems to me that once in your life before you die, you ought to see a place where they don't talk in English. If you want to.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies. We are just going to skip a few hours. Before we do that, though, we would like to know a little bit more about our town. Sort of a scientific approach, you might say. So I have asked Professor Willard of our state university to come and sketch in just a few facts about our history here. Professor Willard, may I introduce to you Professor Willard of our state university. Just a few short facts, please. Unfortunately, our time is limited, Professor.
Grover's Corners. Let's see. Grover's Corners lies on the old Pliocene granite of the Appalachian Range. And it's some of the oldest land in the world, and we're very proud of that here. Of course, there have been more recent outcroppings of sandstone showing through the shelf of Devonian basalt, and vestiges of the Mesozoic shale. But these are comparatively new, 200, 300 million years. There are also some extremely interesting fossils have been found. I would say they are unique fossils. Just 2 miles north of the Peckham farm in Silas Peckham's cow pasture. They are now at the University Museum, and they can be seen any time, well, any reasonable time. Could I read from Professor Gruber's notes about the meteorological situation, the mean precipitation, etc.?
I'm afraid we won't have time for anything like that. Professor, perhaps you could say a few words about the history of man here.
Oh, anthropological data. The old Amerindian stock, Chattahoochee tribes, no evidence before the 10th century of this era. Pretty well disappeared now. Possible traces in 3 families. The 17th century migration of the English, brachiocephalic blue-eyed stock, and since then some Slavs, some Mediterranean,
How about the population, Professor?
Within the city limits, the population is 2,640.
Oh, just a minute, please.
The current population is 2,642. And the postal district, that's another 507, giving a total of 3,149. The birth rate and mortality rates are constant. The McGuffey range shows 6.032.
Thank you very much, Professor. We're all very
Not at all. Not at all.
And now for the political and the social report. Editor Webb. Mr. Webb.
Mr. Webb will be right out. He just cut his hand while eating an apple.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Webb.
Charles, everybody's waiting.
Editor Webb, he is both the editor and the publisher of our local paper, the Grover's Corners Sentinel.
Well, I don't have to tell you that we're run here by a board of select men. All males vote at the age of 21. Women vote indirectly. We're lower middle class, a sprinkling of professional men, and 10% illiterate laborers. Let's see, politically, we're 86% Republicans, 6% Democrats, 4% socialists, the rest indifferent. Religiously, we're 85% Protestants, 12% Catholics, rest indifferent.
Well, Mr. Webb, do you have any comments that you would like to make?
Oh, well, it's a very ordinary town, if you ask me. A little better behaved than most, and well, probably a lot duller. But our young people seem to like it well enough. 90% of them graduating high school settle down right here to live, even after being away to college.
Well, does anyone in the audience have any questions that they would like to ask Editor Webb about our town? Yes.
Is there much drinking in Grover's Corners?
Well, madam, I don't know what you mean by much. On Saturday night, the farmhands, they meet down at Ellery Greenhouse stable, and, well, they holler up a little bit. And, well, we've got one or two town drunks. Oh, but they're always having remorses every time an evangelist comes to town. No, man. I would say liquor isn't a regular thing in the home here. Oh, except in the medicine chest. Right good for a snake bite. Always was.
Is there no one in this town aware
Sir,
of...
could you please come on down a little farther where we can all hear you? Come.
Is there no one in this town aware of social injustice and the industrial inequality?
Oh, well, sure. Everyone is. Something terrible. Seems like all they talk about is who's rich and who's poor.
Why don't they do something about it?
Well, I don't know. Perhaps we're all hunting like everyone else for a way the sensible and diligent can rise to the top and the lazy and quarrelsome sink to the bottom. It isn't easy to find. So, in the meantime, we just do what we can to take care of those who can't help themselves, and, well, those who can, we just leave alone. Are there any other questions?
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Webb, is there any culture or love of beauty in Grover's Corners?
Well, madam, there isn't much. Not in the sense that you mean. Oh, there are some girls that do play piano at the high school commencements. Oh, but they're not very happy about that. No, ma'am, there isn't much culture, but maybe this is the place to tell you that we have a lot of pleasures of a kind here. But we enjoy watching the sun come up over the mountain in the morning. And we notice a good deal about the birds while we pay a lot of attention to them. And the change of seasons. We all know about them, but those other things, no, man. there isn't much. Robinson Crusoe, oh, and the Bible, and Handel's Largo. We all know that. Oh, and Whistler's Mother. That's just about as far as we go.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Webb. So now, we're going to go back to Grover's Corners. It is 2 o'clock. All 2,642 lunches have been served. The dishes have been done. The children have gone back to school. You can hear Buzz, a bit of a hum coming from the school building. There's only a couple of buggies on Main Street, and the horses are asleep at the post. There is a nice afternoon calm around town. Do you all remember that? Doc Gibbs is up in his office. He's tapping people on the knee and making them say, "Aw." And Mr. Webb is cutting his lawn. You know, 1 man in 10 thinks it's a privilege to push his own lawnmower.
I'm here after the baseball practice.
See you tomorrow. Bye. See you at Boy Scouts. Oh, Wally, how'd you do on your Canada test?
I think I got an A.
Good for you. I can't, Louis. I have to go home and help my mother. I promise.
Emily! Walk simply! Who do you think you are today?
Oh, Papa, you're just terrible. One minute you tell me to stand up straight, and the next you call me names. I just don't listen to you.
Well, golly! I never got kissed by such a great lady before.
Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Forrest.
Go play in the fields, young man. You've got no business playing baseball on Main Street.
Awfully sorry, Mrs. Forrest. Oh, hello, Emily.
Hello.
You made a fine speech in class.
Well, I was really prepared to make a speech about the Monroe Doctrine, but at the last minute, Miss Corcoran made me talk about the Louisiana Purchase instead. I worked an awful long time on both of them.
Gee, it's funny, Emily. From my window up there, I can just see your head nights when you're doing your homework over in your room.
Like, can you?
You certainly do stick to it, Emily. I don't see how you can sit still that long. I wish you must like school.
Well, I feel it's something we all have to go through.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, really. It passes the time.
Yeah. What do you think, Emily? We might work out a kind of telegraph from your window to mine, and every once in a while you give me a sort of hint or two about one of those algebra problems. And I mean, the answer is, of course not. just some little hint.
I think hints are allowed. So, if you get stuck, George, you whistle to me, and I'll give you some hints.
Emily, you're just naturally bright, I guess.
I figure it's just a way a person is born.
Yeah, but you see, I want to be a farmer, and my Uncle Luke says whenever I'm ready, I can go over and work on his farm, and if I'm any good, I can just gradually have it.
You mean the house and everything?
Yeah. Well, I better be getting out to the baseball field. Thanks for the talk, Emily. Oh, good afternoon, Mrs. Webb.
Good afternoon, George.
So long, Emily.
So long, George.
Emily, come sit here by me and help me string some of these beans for winter. Well, George Gibbs let himself have a real conversation, didn't he? Why, he is growing up. How old would George be?
I don't know.
Well, let's see. He must be close to 16 by now.
Mama, I made a speech in class today, and I was very good.
Well, you'll have to recite it for your father at supper. What was it about?
The Louisiana Purchase. It was like silk off a spool. I'm gonna make speeches all my life. Mama, are these big enough?
Try to get him a little bigger if you can.
Mama, will you answer me a question? Serious?
Seriously, dear, not serious.
Seriously. Will you?
Of course I will.
Mama? Am I good looking?
Of course you are. Both of my children have good features. I'd be ashamed if they hadn't.
Mama, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, am I pretty?
Well, I just told you yes. Now that's enough of that. You have a nice, young, pretty face. Never heard of such foolishness.
Mama, you never tell us the truth about anything.
I am telling you the truth.
Mama? Were you pretty?
Yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, I was. I do say it. I was the prettiest girl in town next to Mamie Curry.
But Mama, you got to say something about me. Am I pretty enough to get anybody, to get people interested in me?
Emily, you made me tired. Now, stop it. You are pretty enough for all normal purposes. Now, come along. Remember,
Mama, you're no help at all.
Now, I think this is a good time to tell you that the Cartwright interests have begun to build a new bank in Grover's Corners. They had to go to Vermont to get the marble. I am sorry to say that. They have asked a friend of mine what they should put in the cornerstone of that building for people to dig up 1,000 years from now. We're putting in a copy of the New York Times, a copy of Editor Webb's Sentinel, and we're kind of interested in this because some scientific fellows have come up with a way to paint all of that reading material with a kind of a glue, a silicate glue. It's gonna make it keep for 1,000, 2,000 years. So, we're putting in a Bible, a copy of the Constitution of the United States, a copy of William Shakespeare's plays. And what do you say? Folks, what do you think? Did you know Babylon once had over 2 million people in it, and all we know about them are the name of their kings, copies of a couple of wheat contracts, and the sale of slaves. Yes. All of those families, they sat down to supper every night. The fathers came home from work, the smoke went up the chimney, just the same as here. And even in Greece and in Rome, all we know about the lives of the people is what's been jerry-rigged together from some jokey poems and the comedies they wrote for the theater back then. So I'm going to have them put a copy of our play in the cornerstone of that building. So people 1,000 years from now will know something about us, more than the Treaty of Versailles, or the Lindbergh flight. You know what I mean? So people 1,000 years from now, this is how we were. In the provinces north of New York in the early 20th century, this is how we were. In our living, and our marrying, and in our growing, and in our dying. Well, we're going to get back to Grover's Corners now. It's evening. And you can hear the choir practicing at the Congregational Church. The children are home doing their schoolwork. But this day is just running down like a tired clock.
Our fears, our hopes, our aims are one, our comforts and our cares.
All right now, ladies, do it again. And remember, music came into this world to bring pleasure. Now try it again.
Blessed be the tide that binds our hearts and
music's only good when it's loud. You leave loudness to the Methodists. You couldn't beat them even if you wanted to. Now again, Ted.
Blessed be the tie that binds our hearts.
Emily.
Hello.
Hello.
I can't work at all. The moonlight's so terrible.
Emily, did you get the third problem?
Which?
The third.
Why, yes, George, that's the easiest of them all.
I don't see it. Well, Emily, could you give me a hint?
I'll tell you one thing. The answer's in yards.
In yards? How do you mean?
In square yards.
Oh, square yards. Yeah.
In square yards of wallpaper.
Oh, I see. Square yards of wallpaper. Thanks a lot, Emily.
You're welcome. My, is the moonlight terrible? And the choir practice going on? You know, I think if you hold your breath, you can hear the train all the way to Kentucky. Do you hear it?
Mm-hmm. What do you know?
Well, I guess I better get back and try to work.
Good night, Emily.
Good night, George.
Ah, that's better. That's better, ladies. But it ain't no better. Before I forget, how many of you can come in Tuesday afternoon and sing at Fred Hursty's wedding? Show your hands, please. Oh, that will be fine. That will be right nice. Remember, Sunday you take the second verse real soft and sort of die out at the end. Are you ready?
Oh, George, can you come down a minute?
Yes, Pa.
Make yourself comfortable, George. I'll only keep you a minute. George, how old are you?
Me, I'm 16, almost 17.
And what do you want to do once school's over?
You know, Pa, I want to be a farmer on Uncle Luke's farm.
You'll be willing, will you, to get up early and milk and feed the stock? And you'll be able to hoe and hay all day?
Sure I will. What do you mean, Pa?
Well, George, while I was in my office today, I heard a funny sound. And what do you think that was? It was your mother chopping wood. There you see your mother getting up early, cooking meals all day long, washing and ironing. Still, she has to go out in the backyard and chop wood. And I guess she just got tired of asking you to do it. Just gave up. Figured it was easier to do it herself. And you eat her meals, put on the clothes that she keeps nice for you, and you run off and play baseball. Like she's some hired girl we keep around the house, but we really don't like very much. Well, I knew all I had to do was call your attention to it. Here's a handkerchief, son. George, I've decided I'm going to raise your spending money 25 cents a week. Not, of course, for chopping wood for your mother, as that's sort of a present that you give to her. But because you're getting older and, well, I guess there's lots of things you must find to do with it.
Thanks, Pa.
Let's see. Tomorrow's payday. You can count on it. Probably Rebecca will feel she ought to have more, too. I wonder what could have happened to your mother. Choir practice was never this late before.
It's only 8:30, Pa.
I don't know why she's in that old choir anyway. She hasn't got any more voice than an old crow. Traipsing around the streets at this hour at night? About time you retire, don't you think?
Yes, Pop.
Good night, Martha. Good night, Mr. Foster. I'll be sure and tell Mr. Webb. I know he'll want to put that in the paper. Why, it's late. Good night, Irma.
Real nice choir practice, wasn't it?
Myrtle Webb, will you look at that moon?
Potato weather for sure.
Well, naturally, I didn't want to say a word about it in front of those others, but now we're alone. Really, it's the worst scandal that ever was in this town.
What?
Simon Stimpson.
Now, Luella.
But Julia, to have the organist of the church drink and drunk year after year?
Luella.
Julia, you know he was drunk tonight.
Now, Luella, we all know about Mr. Stimpson, and we all know about the trouble he's been through. Reverend Ferguson knows too, and if Reverend Ferguson keeps him on there in his job, the only thing for the rest of us to do is just not to notice it.
Not to notice it, but it's getting worse.
No, Luella, it's not. It's getting better. And I've been in that choir twice as long as you have. It doesn't happen nearly as often as it used to. My, I hate to go to bed on a night like this. Gracious, I should go. Those children will be up till all hours. Good night, Luella. Julia.
Good night, Myrtle. You can get home safe, Luella.
Oh, it's bright as day. I can see Mr. Soames scowling at the window now. I think we'd better dance the way the menfolk carry on. Good night, Julia.
Good night.
See you on Sunday.
See you then. Well, we had a real good time.
You're late enough.
Why, Frank, it's not any later than usual.
And you, stopping at the corner to gossip with a lot of hens.
Oh, Frank, don't be grouchy. Come out and smell like heliotropes in the moonlight. Come on. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
So, what'd you do all the time I was away?
Oh, I read. As you do. What were the girls gossiping about tonight?
Well, believe me, Frank, there was something to gossip about.
Simon Stimpson. Far gone, was he?
Worst I've ever seen him. How will that end, Frank? Reverend Ferguson can't forgive him forever.
I guess I know more about Simon Stimpson's affairs than anybody in this town. Some people aren't made for small town life. I don't know how that's going to end. There's nothing we can do. Just leave it alone. Come on, let's get it.
No, not yet.
Frank,
I'm worried about you.
What are you worried about?
Think it's my duty to make plans for you to get a real rest and change. And if I get that legacy, I'm going to insist on it.
Now, Julia, there's no sense in going over that again.
Frank, you're just unreasonable.
Come on, Julia. It's getting late. First thing you know, you'll catch cold. I gave George a piece of my mind tonight. I reckon you'll have your wood chopped. For a while, anyway. No, let's get upstairs.
Dear, there's always so much to pick up, seems like. Frank, Mrs. Fairchild always locks her front door. Every night. All those people up that side of town do.
They're all getting cityfied. That's the trouble with them. They haven't anything fit to burgle, and everybody knows it.
Get out, Rebecca. There's only room for one at this window.
George, let me look just a minute.
Use your own window.
I did, but there's no moon there. George, do you know what I think, do you? I think maybe the moon's getting nearer, and there'll be a big explosion.
Rebecca, you don't know anything. If the moon were getting near, the men that sit up all night with telescopes would see it first, and they'd tell us about it. Besides, it'd be in all the newspapers.
George, is the moon shining on South America, and Canada, and half the whole world?
Well, probably is.
It's 9:30. Most of the lights in town are out. There's Constable Warren checking a few doors on Main Street. Editor Webb coming home after putting his paper to bed.
Oh, good evening, Bill.
Evening, Mr. Webb.
Quite a moon.
Yeah?
Everything quiet tonight.
Oh, Simon Stimpson's rolling around a little. Just saw his wife moving out to go hunt for him, so I looked the other way. Oh, there he is now.
Good evening, Simon. Town seems to have quieted down for the night. Yes. Good evening, Simon. Town seems to have quieted down for the night. Perhaps we should do the same. Simon, can I walk a ways with you?
Oh, go peddle your papers, Mr. Webb.
Good night.
I don't know how that's going to end, Mr. Webb.
He's seen a peck of troubles, one thing after another. Oh, Bill, if you see my boy smoking cigarettes, just give him a word, will you? He thinks a lot of you, Bill.
Oh, I don't think he smokes cigarettes, Mr. Webb. Anyways, not more than 2 or 3 a year.
Well, I hope not. Good night, Bill.
Good night, Mr. Webb.
Who is that up there? Is that you, Myrtle?
No, it's me, Papa.
Emily, why aren't you in bed?
I don't know. I just can't sleep yet, Papa. The moonlight's so wonderful. And the smell of Mrs. Gibbs' heliotropes. Can you smell them?
Yeah, it's... no, you haven't any troubles on your mind, have you, Emily?
Troubles, Papa? No.
Well, don't let your mother catch you. Good night, Emily.
Good night, Papa.
I never told you about that letter that Jane Crawford got from her minister when she was sick. He wrote Jane a letter, and on the envelope, the address was like this. It said, Jane Crawford, the Crawford Farm, Grover's Corner, Sutton County, New Hampshire, United States of America.
What's funny about that?
Listen, it's not finished. United States of America, continent of North America, Western Hemisphere, the Earth, the solar system, the universe, the mind of God. That's what it said on the envelope.
What do you know?
Yep, and the postman brought it just the same.
What do you know?
That is the end of our first act, folks. You can go out and smoke now. Those who smoke. Have gone by. That sun has come up over 1,000 times. Summers, winters, cracked our mountain a little bit. Rain brought down some of the dirt. Some babies who weren't even born before, they're putting together complete sentences already. Some people who thought they were mighty young and spry have found out they can't go bounding up that flight of stairs like they used to. Not without their hearts fluttering a little. All of that can happen in 1,000 days. And nature's been pushing and contriving in some other ways, too. Some young people fell in love and got married. Yes, the mountain has been bit back a couple fractions of an inch. Millions of gallons of water went by that mill. And here and there, a new home has gone up under a roof. Almost everybody in the world gets married, and you know what I mean. In our town, almost no exceptions. Most everybody climbs into their graves married. The first act was the daily life. This act is love and marriage. So it is 3 years later. It's 1904. It's July 7th, and that is right after our high school commencement. That's the time that most of our young people jump up and get married. Right after they pass those final exams in solid geometry and Cicero's orations, it seems they suddenly feel themselves fit to get married. Well, it's early morning again. Only this time it's been raining. It's been pouring and thundering. Mrs. Gibbs's garden and Mrs. Webb's here are drenched. All those bean poles and pea vines, they're drenched. Yesterday on Main Street, the rain, it just looked like curtains being blown along. And I'm not certain, but it looks like it might start up again any minute. And there's the 5:10 to Boston. Mrs. Gibbs, Mrs. Webb, they've come down to make breakfast like this was an ordinary day. I do not have to remind the women in this audience that these two ladies that you see before you, these two ladies, they cooked 3 meals a day. One of them for 20 years and one of them for 40, and no summer vacation. They raised 2 children apiece. They washed, they cleaned their house. They never had a nervous breakdown. They never even thought themselves hard used either. It's like some Midwestern poet said, you have to love life to have life, but you have to have life to love life. And this is what is called a vicious circle.
Giddy up, Bessie.
And there is Holly Newsom and Bessie delivering the milk. And there is Cy Crowell delivering the paper like his brother did before him.
Morning, Howie.
Good morning, Cy. Anything in the paper I ought to know?
Not much, except for Newsom got the best baseball pitcher Rose Corners ever had.
I reckon he is.
And now, all he'll be doing is pitching hay.
Oh, Bessie, guess I can stop and talk if I have a mind to.
He could hit, too, and run bases.
Mighty fine ball player.
I don't see how you can give up a thing like that just to get married. Would you have, Howie?
I can't tell, Cy. Never had no talent that way.
Morning, Howie.
Good morning, Bill. You're up early.
We'll see what I can do to prevent a flood. River's been rising all night.
Cy Crowd here. It's all broke up about George Gibbs retiring from baseball.
Oh, yes, sir, that's the way it goes. At 84, we had a player. Saw even George Gibbs couldn't touch him. Name, Hank Top. Wonderful ball player. Went up to Maine to become a parson. Howie, how's that weather seem to you?
Oh, it ain't bad. Think maybe it'll clear up for good. Bill?
Howie?
Good morning, Howie.
Good morning, Miss Gibbs. It's too bad about the weather. It's been raining so heavy that maybe it'll clear up.
Certainly hope it will.
How much did you want today?
Well, I'm gonna have a house full of relations, Howie. Looks to me like I'll need 3 of milk and 2 of cream.
There your milk. And 2 of cream. My wife tells me to tell you how we hope they'll be happy. No, they will.
Thanks a lot, Howie. Tell your wife I hope she gets to the wedding.
Well, maybe she can. She'll get there if she can. Good morning, Miss Webb.
Morning, Mr. Newsom. I know I told you 4 quarts of milk, but I am hoping you can spare me another.
Yes, and 2 of cream.
Will it start raining again, Howie?
Oh, well, I was just telling Miss Gibbs how it may clear up. And Mrs. Newsom told me to tell you especially how we hope they'll be happy. No, they will.
Thank you, and thank Mrs. Newsom. And we hope to see you both at the church.
Yes, Miss Webb. We hope they get there all right. Could have missed that. Oh, come on, Bessie.
Well, Ma, the day has come. you're losing one of your chicks.
Frank Gibbs, don't say another word. I feel like crying every minute.
Well, the groom's up shaving himself. Only there isn't an awful lot to shave. He's whistling and singing like he's glad to leave us. Every now and then he says, "I do," to the mirror. But it doesn't sound very convincing to me.
I declare, Frank, I don't know how he'll get along. I've arranged his clothes and seen to it his feet were dry and he had warm things on. They're too young, Frank. Emily won't think of such things. He'll catch his death of cold within a week.
I remember my wedding morning, Julia.
Now, don't start that, Frank Gibbs.
I was the scaredest young fella in the state of New Hampshire. Thought I'd made a mistake for sure. When I saw you coming down that aisle, I thought you were the prettiest girl I'd ever seen. Only trouble was, I'd never seen you before. There I was in the Congregational Church, marrying a total stranger.
How do you think I felt? Frank, weddings are perfectly awful things. Farces, that's what they are. Here, I've made you something.
Why, Julia Hersey, French toast.
It isn't hard to make, and I had to do something.
Oh, how'd you sleep last night, Julia?
Well, I heard a lot of the hours struck off.
I get a shock every time I think of George setting out to be a family man. That great gangling thing. I tell you, Julia, there's nothing in the world so terrifying as a son. You know, the relation of a father and son is the damnedest, awkwardest.
Well, mother and daughter's no picnic, let me tell you.
They'll have their troubles, I suppose. But that's none of our business. Everybody has a right to their own troubles.
People are meant to live 2 by 2 in this world. It's not natural to be lonesome.
Julia, you know what I was scared of when I married you?
Go along with you.
I was afraid we didn't have enough material for a conversation that would last 3 weeks. I thought we'd go out and eat our meals in silence. That's a fact. Here, you and I have been conversing for 20 years now without any noticeable barren spells.
Well, good weather, bad weather is not very choice, but I always think of something to say. So, did you hear Rebecca stirring around upstairs?
No. Only day of the year she hasn't been managing everybody's business up there. She's hiding in her room. I got the idea she's crying.
This has got to stop. Rebecca! Rebecca, come down and get your breakfast.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Only 4 more hours to live.
George Gibbs, where are you going?
Just stepping across the grass to see my girl.
Now, George, put on your rubbers. It's raining torrents. You don't go out of this house without your being prepared for it.
Ma, it's just a step.
Now, George, you'll catch your death of cold and cough all through the service.
George, do as your mother tells you.
Tomorrow on, you can kill yourself in all weather. For as long as you're in my house, you'll live wisely, thank you. Perhaps Mrs. Webb isn't used to callers at 7 a.m. Take a cup of coffee first?
Be back in a minute. Good morning, Mother Webb.
Good morning, George. Gracious, you frightened me. George, I hate to say it. You can stand here for a minute out of the rain. But really, George, you understand, I can't ask you in.
Why not?
George, you know as well as I do, the groom can't see the bride on the day of the wedding. Not till he sees her in the church.
That's just a superstition. Good morning, Mr. Webb.
Good morning, George.
Mr. Webb, you don't believe in that superstition, do you?
Well, there's a lot of common sense in superstitions, George.
Millions have followed it, George. Don't you be the first to fly in the face of custom.
Well, how is Emily?
She's still asleep. I haven't heard a sound out of her.
Emily's asleep.
Well, it's no wonder. We were up half the night, sewing and packing and... Okay, George, this is what I'll do. You can sit here for a minute and have your coffee with Mr. Webb, and I'll go upstairs and make sure that Emily doesn't come down and surprise you. There's bacon too, but don't be long about it.
Well, George, how are you?
I'm fine. Mr. Webb, what common sense could there be in a superstition like that?
Yeah, George, on the wedding morning, a girl's head's full of, well, you know, clothes and one thing or another. Don't you think that that's probably it?
Yes, I never thought of that.
Girls have to be nervous on her wedding day, George.
Gee, I wish a person could just get married without all that marching up and down.
Every man that's ever lived has thought that, George. There hasn't been any use. No, it's the women folk who've built up weddings, my boy. For a while now, they have it all their own. George, a man looks pretty small at a wedding. All those good women standing shoulder to shoulder, making sure that the knot is tied in a mighty public way.
Well, you believe in it, don't you, Mr. Webb?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Now, don't misunderstand me, George. Marriage is a wonderful thing. A wonderful thing. Now, don't you forget that.
No, sir. Mr. Webb, how old were you when you got married?
Oh, I had already gone to college and had settled down some, but Mrs. Webb wasn't much older than Emily is. No, George, age has nothing to do with it, compared to other things.
What were you going to say, Mr. Webb?
Oh, I don't know. Was I going to say something? Oh, no. I was just thinking back the other night on some advice that my father gave me when I got married. Yes, he said to me, Charles, he said, start right off by showing her who's boss. Give her an order about something, even if it doesn't make sense, just so she'll learn to obey. Oh, yes, and he also said, and if anything about her irritates you, her conversation or anything, just get right up and leave. That'll make it clear to her. Oh, yes, and he also said, and never let your wife know how much money you have.
Well, I couldn't exactly do
So
that.
I just did the opposite of his advice. And gosh, I have been happy ever since. So let that be a lesson to you, George. Never ask advice of anyone about personal matters. George, are you going to raise chickens on your farm?
What?
Are you going to raise chickens on your farm?
Yes, Uncle Luke has never gone in for chickens much, but I've been figuring on reading and studying up.
Well, George, a book came into my office on the philo system of raising chickens. But I think you should read it. I'm thinking about starting in a small way myself, in the backyard. You see, I have an incubator in the
Charles
cellar.
Webb, you are not talking about that incubator again, are you? I thought you would be talking about important matters.
Well, Myrtle, if you want to give the boy some good advice, I'll just go upstairs.
George, Emily's got to come down and eat her breakfast. She sends you her love, but she doesn't want to lay eyes on you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, Myrtle, I guess you didn't know about that older superstition.
What's that, Charles?
Oh, since the caveman, no bridegroom shall see the father-in-law on the day of the wedding. Or near it. Now, remember that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Webb. I'm afraid I'm going to have to cut in again here. You see, we want to know, how did all this begin? This wedding? This promise to spend a lifetime together? I'm awfully interested in how big things like this begin. You know how it is. You're 21, you're 22, you make a couple decisions, and then you're 70. You've been a lawyer for what, 50 years? That white-haired lady sitting there at your side? She's eaten 50,000 meals with you. How do things like this begin? George and Emily are going to show you now the conversation that they had when they first realized that they were, as the saying goes, meant for one another. But before they do that, I want you to try to remember what it was like to be very young. And in particular, when you were first in love, when it was like you were sleepwalking. You were sleepwalking, you couldn't see the street you were walking in, you couldn't quite hear everything that was being said to you. You were a little bit crazy. So try to remember that, please. It's 3 o'clock. It's June. School's just about to get out. And George has just been elected president of his senior class. Now, because this is June, it means that he's going to be president of his senior class all year next year. Emily has just been elected secretary and treasurer. They're coming up Main Street now.
See you tomorrow. Bye. I'll see you at Boy Scouts. Oh no, I can't. My mother has choir practice tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Goodbye.
I can't, Louise. I gotta go home. Goodbye.
Oh, bye, Rebecca.
Ernestine.
Bye, Wally. Bye, Catherine.
Ernestine, can you come over tonight and do Latin? Isn't that Cicero the worst thing? Well, tell your mother that you have to. Goodbye. Oh, goodbye, Helen. Bye, Fred.
Emily. Could I carry your books home for you?
Well, thank you. It isn't far.
Oh, excuse me 1 minute, Emily. Will you? Let's say, Bob, if I'm a little late, start practicing. Throw Herb some long, high ones.
Oh, goodbye, Lizzie.
Oh, goodbye. I'm awful glad you were elected too, Emily.
Thank you.
Emily, why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
You've been treating me so funny lately.
Well, since you ask, I might as well tell you right now, George. Oh, bye, Miss Corcoran.
Goodbye, Miss Corcoran. What is it?
I don't like the whole change that's come over you in the last year. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I feel I've just got to tell the truth and shame the devil.
The change? What do you mean?
Well, up to a year ago, I used to like you a lot, and I used to watch you while you did everything. Because we've been friends for so long. Then you started spending all your time at baseball. And you never stopped to speak to anybody anymore. Not really to speak, but not even to your own family you didn't. And George, it's a fact. Ever since you've been elected captain, you've been getting awful stuck up and conceited. And all the girls say so, and it hurts me to hear him say it, but I have to agree with them a little bit because it's true.
Gosh, Emily, I never thought such a thing was happening to me. I guess it's hard for a fellow not to have some faults creep into his character.
I expect every man to be perfect, and I think he should be.
Well, I don't think it's possible to be perfect, Emily.
Well, my father is. And as far as I can see, your father is. There is no reason on earth why you shouldn't be too.
Well, I feel it's the other way around, that men aren't naturally good, but girls are.
Well, you might as well know right now, I'm not perfect. It's not as easy for girls to be as perfect as a man, because we girls are more nervous. Now, I'm sorry I said all that about you. I don't know what made me say it. And I can see it's not the truth at all, and I suddenly feel it's not important anyway.
Emily, would you like an ice cream soda or something before you go home?
Well, thank you. I would.
Oh, hello, Stu. How are you? Good afternoon, Mrs. Slocum.
Hello, George. Hello, Emily. Well, what can I do for you? Emily Webb. What are you crying about?
She got an awful scare, Mr. Morgan. That hardware store wagon almost ran her over. Everybody says Tom Huckins drives like a crazy man.
Well, here, have a good glass of water, Emily. You look pretty shook up. Listen, I tell you, you gotta look both ways when you cross Main Street nowadays. It is getting worse every year. Well, what do you have?
I'll have a strawberry phosphate, Mr.
No, Emily, have a soda with me.
Well,
2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan.
2 strawberry ice cream sodas. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll tell you, there's 225 horses in Grover's Corners this minute that I'm talking to you. Government inspector, he was in here yesterday. They're gonna be bringing in them automobiles. Tell you, the best thing a person can do is just stay home. I can remember dogs used to be able to just sit there, lay down, whatever, right in the middle of the street all day long. Absolutely nothing ever came to disturb them. Oh, there you go. Yes. Mrs. Gibbs, yeah.
They're so expensive.
No, Emily, don't you think of that. We're celebrating our election. And do you know what else I'm celebrating?
No.
I'm celebrating because I've got a friend that tells me all the things that ought to be told me.
George, please don't think of that. I don't know what made me say it. It's not even
No,
the
Emily,
truth.
you stick to it. I'm glad you spoke like you did. But you'll see, I'm going to change so quick. You bet I'm going to change. And Emily, I want to ask you a favor.
What?
Emily, if I go away to State Agricultural College next year, will you write me a letter once in a while?
I certainly will. I certainly will, George. It certainly seems like being away 3 years, you get out of touch with things. Maybe letters from Grover's Corners won't seem so interesting after a while. Grover's Corners isn't a very important place when you think of all New Hampshire, but I think it's a very nice town.
The day wouldn't come when I wouldn't want to know everything about our town. I know that's true.
Well, I'll try to make the letter seem interesting.
You know, Emily, whenever I meet a farmer, I ask him if he thinks it's important to go to agricultural school to be a good farmer.
Why, George?
Yeah, some of them say it's even a waste of time. You can get all that stuff in the pamphlets the government sends out. And my Uncle Luke's getting old. He's about ready for me to start in taking his farm over tomorrow if I could.
My.
And like you say, being gone all that time in other places and meeting other people, gosh, if anything like that can happen, I don't want to go away. I guess new people probably aren't any better than old ones. But they almost never are. And Emily, you're as good a friend as I've got. I don't need to go meet the people in other towns.
Oh, but George, maybe it's very important for you to go and learn all that about cattle judging and soils and those things. Of course, I don't know.
Emily, I'm going to make up my mind right now. I won't go. I'll tell Pa about it tonight.
Why, George, I don't see why you have to decide right now. It's a whole year away.
Emily, I'm glad you spoke to me about that fault in my character. What you said was right, but there was one thing wrong in it. That's where you said I wasn't noticing people, and you, for instance. Why, you say you were watching me when I did everything. I was doing the same about you all the time. Why, sure, I always thought about you as one of the chief people I thought about. I always made sure where you were sitting on the bleachers and who you were with. And 3 days I've tried to walk home with you, but something's always gotten in the way. Yesterday I was over by the wall waiting for you, and you walked home with Miss Corcoran.
Oh, George, life's awful funny. How could I have even known that? I thought
Listen, Emily, I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to agricultural school. I think once you found a person you're very fond of, and I mean a person who's fond of you too, and who likes you well enough to be interested in your character, well, I think that's just as important as college is, and even more so. That's what I think.
I think that's awfully important, too.
Emily.
Yes, George?
Emily, if I do improve and make a big change, would you be, could you be?
I am now, and I always have been.
So I guess this is an important talk we've been having.
Yes. Yes.
Well, wait just a minute, and I'll walk you home. Mr. Morgan, Morgan, I'll have to go home to get the money to pay you for this.
George, yes. You mean to tell me you came in
Yes,
here?
but I had reasons, Mr. Morgan. Look, here's my watch to keep until I come back with the money.
George, don't worry about that. Keep your watch. I'll trust you.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Well, I will trust you for 10 years. Not one day longer. Emily, you got all over your shock.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Morgan. It was nothing.
I'm ready.
Well, let's get on to the wedding. There is a lot to be said about a wedding. Now, there are a lot of thoughts that go on during a wedding, but we cannot fit them all into one wedding. And particularly not into a wedding that takes place in Grover's Corners, where they tend to be mighty short and plain. However, in this play, I take the part of the minister. So that gives me the right to say a few more things. Yes. For a while now, this play is going to get pretty serious. You see, some churches believe that a wedding is a sacrament. And, well, I don't know quite what that means. I can guess. It's like what Mrs. Gibbs said just a few minutes ago. People are supposed to live 2 by 2. And this is a good wedding. The people in it are pretty young, but they come from a good state. They chose right. And the real hero of this scene is not on this stage at all. Y'all know who that is. It's like, some European fellow said, every baby that is born is nature's attempt to make a perfect human being. Well, we've been watching nature pushing and contriving for some time now. She seems to be pretty interested in quantity. I think she's interested in quality too. And maybe she's interested in making another good governor for the state of New Hampshire. That is what Emily hopes. Can't forget all the other witnesses to this wedding, the ancestors, millions of them, and most of them set out to live 2 by 2. Millions of them. Oh, that is the end of my sermon. It really wasn't very long, after all.
I don't know why on earth I should be crying. I suppose there's nothing to cry about. It came over me this morning at breakfast. There was Emily eating her breakfast like she's done for 17 years. And she's going out of my house. I suppose that's it. And Emily, she suddenly said, I can't eat another mouthful. She put her head down on the table and she cried. Oh, I've got to say it. There is something downright cruel about the way we send our girls out into marriages. It's cruel. I know, but I couldn't get myself to say anything to her. I went into it blind as a bat myself. The whole world is wrong. That's what's the matter. Here they come.
George! There he is. Oh, George. You have to look so innocent, you old geezer. Look at him.
There used to be a lot of that kind of stuff in weddings in the old days. Roman later, but we are much more civilized now. Yes, so they say.
George. George, what's the matter?
Ma, I don't want to grow old. Why is everybody pushing me so?
Why, George, you wanted it.
No, Ma, listen to me.
No, George.
Ma,
you're
listen.
a man now.
For the last time I ask you, all I want to do is be a fella.
George, if anyone should hear you, now stop. Why, I'm ashamed of you.
What? Where's Emily?
You gave me such a turn.
Cheer up, Ma. I'm getting married.
Let me catch my breath a minute.
Now, Ma, you say Thursday nights. Emily and I are coming over to dinner every Thursday. You'll see. Why, Ma, you look all funny. What are you crying for? You gotta get ready for this.
I have never felt so alone in my whole life. And George over there, I hate him. I wish I were dead. Papa.
Emily, don't be upset.
Papa, I don't want to get married.
Emily, everything's going to be fine.
Why can't I just stay for a while just as I am? But let's go away.
No, just stop and think a moment.
Don't you remember what you used to say to me all the time, that I was your girl? There must be lots of places we could go. I'd work for you, I'd keep house.
No, you mustn't think such things. Now, you're just nervous. Now, come. Everything's going to be fine. George, will you come here a moment? You are marrying the finest fellow in the world. Why, George is a fine fellow.
But Papa...
George, I'm giving away my daughter. Do you think you can take care of her?
Mr. Webb, I want to. I want to try. Emily, I'm going to do my best. I love you, Emily. I need you.
Well, if you love me, then help me. All I want is for someone to love me.
I will, Emily. Emily, I'll try.
And I mean forever, do you hear me? Forever and ever.
They're waiting for us. Thank you. You look beautiful.
Do you, George, take this woman, Emily?
Perfectly lovely wedding. Loveliest wedding I ever saw. Oh, I do love a good wedding, don't you? Doesn't she make a lovely bride?
I do.
Do you, Emily, take this man, George?
Don't know when I've been to such a lovely wedding, but I always cry. I don't know why it is, I just always cry. I just like to see young people happy, don't you? Oh, I think it's lovely.
I do.
The ring. I've married over 200 couples in my day. Do I believe in it? I don't know. I suppose I do. M marries in, millions of them. The cottage, the go-kart, the drives in the Ford, the first rheumatism, the grandchildren, the second rheumatism, the deathbed, and the reading of the will. 1 in 1,000 is interesting.
Aren't they a lovely couple? Oh, I've never been to such a nice wedding. I'm sure they'll be happy. I always say happiness, that's the great thing. The important thing is to be happy.
This time, 9 years have passed, friends. It's summer 1913. Gradual changes to Grover's Corners. Horses are getting rarer. Farmers are coming into town now in forts. And everybody locks their front doors now at night. Well, there haven't been any burglars in town yet, but everybody has heard about them. You'd be surprised, though, on the whole. Not much changes around here. This is a very important part of Grover's Corners. It is up on a hill, kind of a windy hill. A lot of sky. There's a lot of clouds. Often it is clear and sunny, stars, moons. Come up here on a fine afternoon and you can see range after range of hills, and mighty blue they are too, by Lake Sunapee, Lake Winnipesaukee, and if you go way up, you can see the White Mountains, Mount Washington, where Conway and North Conway is. And then, of course, our favorite mountain, Mount Monadnock's right here. And its towns, North Jeffries and Jeffries, Petersboro, Dublin, and then down there, quite a ways, is Grover's Corners. Yes, it is a beautiful spot up here. Mountain laurel, lilac. I have never figured out why people want to be buried in places like Woodlawn and Brooklyn. They could spend that same time up here in New Hampshire. Over here are those old stones, 1660 to 1670. That's a strong-minded people. They came a long way for their independence. In the summer, people walk all over these, they laughing at the funny names on the tombstones. That doesn't do any harm. Genealogists, they come up here from Boston researching ancestry for city folk who hire them. They want to make sure that they are daughters of the American Revolution and from the Mayflower, and that doesn't do any harm either. Over here are some Civil War veterans. They have iron flags on their graves. These are New Hampshire boys here. They had a notion that this country ought to be held together. They'd never seen more than 50 miles of it themselves, but they had heard the name. Friends, the United States of America. The United States of America. And so they went, and they died about it. This is the new part of our cemetery. Here's your friend, Mrs. Gibbs. Mr. Stimson, the organist for the Congregational Church. Mrs. Soames, she's the one who enjoyed that wedding so much, you remember. Oh, others. Editor Webb's son, Wallace. His appendix burst on a Boy Scout trip to Crawford Notch. That's a whole lot of sorrow. It just kind of pales down up here. People who are wild with grief, they bring their relatives up to this hill. And then times, sunny days, rainy days, snow. You all know how it is. Thoughts come flooding up here, day and night. There is no post office. You know, we all know a few things that we don't take out and look at very often. We know that something is eternal. We know that it isn't buildings or names or earth. It isn't even the stars. We all know deep down inside that something is eternal, and that something has to do with human beings. All of the greatest people who have ever lived have been telling us that for 5,000 years. And yet, you would be surprised at how many people are wanting to let go of that fact. There is something, down deep, that is eternal about every human being. The dead, they don't stay interested in us living people for very long. Gradually, they let go their hold on this earth, the ambitions they had and the pleasures they had and the sorrows that they had and the people that they loved. They get weaned away from the earth. That's the way that I put it. They get weaned away. They stay here until that earth part of them just burns away, burns out. And all that time, they are slowly getting indifferent about what's going on in Grover's Corners because they are waiting. They're waiting for something that they feel is going to happen, something great, something important. Aren't they waiting for that eternal part of themselves to just burn out clear? They may say some things that are going to hurt your feelings. And that is just the way that it is. Mother and daughter and husband and wife and enemy to enemy, money to miser, all of those really important things, they just pale down up here. And then what is left? What is left when your memory's gone and your identity? Mrs. Smith? Here are some living people. This is Joe Stoddard. He is our undertaker, and he is supervising a newly made grave. And there is Sam Craig. This is a Grover's Corners boy. He left town, went west.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stoddard.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Now, let me see now. Do I know you?
I'm Sam Craig.
Goodness gracious sakes alive. Of all people, I should have known you'd be back for the funeral. You've been away a long time, Sam.
Yes, I've been away over 12 years now. I'm in business out in Buffalo now, Joe, but I was in the East when I got news of my cousin's death. So I thought I'd combine things a little and come back and see the old home. You look well.
Oh, yes. I can't complain. Very sad, our journey here today, Sam.
Yes.
Yes, I always say, I hate to supervise when a young person is taken. Well, they'll be here in a few minutes now. I had to come here early today. My son is supervising at the home.
Constable Warren. I used to do chores for him after school. He had lumbago.
Yes, we brought Constable Warren here a few years ago now.
And this is my Aunt Julia. Why, I'd forgotten. She... Of course.
Yes, Doc Gibbs lost his wife, 2 or 3 years ago, about this time. Oh, and today is another bad blow for him, too.
That's my sister Carrie's boy, Sam Craig.
It gets so uncomfortable when they come around.
Simon. Do they choose their own verses much, Joe?
No, not usually. Most of the time, the bereaved pick a verse.
Doesn't sound like my Aunt Julia. Well, there aren't many of those Hersey sisters left now, I suppose. Let me see. I wanted to take a look at my father's and mother's...
Over there with the Craigs, Avenue F.
He was the organist at church, wasn't he? Drank a lot, we used to say.
Nobody was supposed to know about it. He'd seen a lot of trouble. He took his own life, you know.
Oh, did he?
Oh, he hung himself in the attic. They tried to hush it all up, but of course it got around. He chose his own epitaph. You can see it there. It's not a verse exactly.
Why, it's just some notes of music. What is it?
Oh, I wouldn't know. It was written up in the Boston papers at the time.
Joe,
Yes?
what did she die of?
Who?
My cousin?
Don't you know? She had some trouble bringing a baby into the world. It was her second, though. There's a little boy about 4 years old.
And the grave is gonna be over here.
Yes, there's not much more room over here among the Gibbses, so they're opening up a whole new Gibbs section over on Avenue B. Oh, you'll excuse me now. I see they're coming.
Who is it, Julia?
My daughter-in-law, Emily Webb.
Well, I declare, the road up here must have been awfully muddy. What did she die of, Julia?
In childbirth.
Childbirth? I'd forgotten all about that. My, wasn't life awful and wonderful?
Wonderful, was it?
Simon, now remember.
I remember Emily's wedding. Wasn't that a lovely wedding? And I remember she read the class poem, graduation exercises. Emily was one of the brightest girls to ever graduate high school. I heard Principal Wilkins say so time after time. I called on them at their new farm just before I died. Perfectly beautiful farm.
It's on the same road we lived on.
Yes, a right smart farm.
Blessed be the time.
I've always liked this hymn. I was hoping they'd sing a hymn.
Our hearts in praise.
Hello.
Hello, Emily.
Hello, Miss Gibbs.
Hello, Mother Gibbs.
Friends, we are gathered here today to honor the life of Emily Webb Gibbs.
It's raining.
Yes? They'll be gone soon, dear. Just rest yourself.
It seems thousands and thousands of years since I've been here. Papa remembered that was my favorite hymn. I wish I'd been here a long time. I don't like being new here. Well, how do you do, Mr. Stinson? Mother Gibbs, George and I have made that farm into just the best place you ever saw. We thought of you all the time. We wanted to show you the new barn that we built and the great long cement drinking fountain we have for the stock. We bought that out of the money you left us.
I did?
Don't you remember, Mother Gibbs? The legacy you left us? Why, it was over $350.
Oh, yes. Yes, Emily.
Well, there's a patent device on this drinking fountain so that it never overflows, Mother Gibbs, and it never sinks below a certain point that they have there. It's fine. It won't be the same to George without me, but it's a lovely farm. Wise people don't understand, do they?
No, dear. Not very much.
They're sort of shut up in little boxes, aren't they? Feel as though I knew them last 1,000 years ago. My boy is spending the day at Mrs. Warren's. Oh, Mr. Warren, my boy is spending the day at your house.
Is he?
Yes, he loves it there. Mother Gibbs, we have a Ford, too. It never gives any trouble. I don't drive, though. Mother Gibbs, when does this feeling go away of being one of them? How long does...
Shh, dear, just wait and be patient.
I know. Look, they're finished. They're going.
Shh, dear.
Look, Father Gibbs is bringing some of my flowers to you. He looks just like George, doesn't he? Mother Gibbs, I never realized how troubled and how in the dark live persons are. Look at him. I loved him so. From morning till night, that's all that they are. Troubled.
A little cooler than it was.
That rain seems to cool things off a little.
Yes, those northeast winds always do the same thing, aren't they? If it isn't a 3-day rain, it's a 3-day blow.
But Mother Gibbs, one can go back. One can go back again into the living. But I feel it. I know it. Why, just for a moment when I was thinking about the farm, I was there. And my baby was on my lap as plain as day.
Yes, dear, of course you can.
I can go back and live all those days over again? Why not?
All I can say is, Emily, don't.
But it's true, isn't it? I can go back into the living again.
Yes. Some have tried. They soon come back here.
Don't do it, Emily.
Emily, don't. It's not what you think it would be.
But I won't live over a sad day. I'll choose a happy one. I'll choose the day that I first knew that I loved George. No, why should that be painful?
Well, you not only live it, you watch yourself living it.
Yes?
Well, while you watch yourself, Emily, you know what those people down there never do. You see the future. You know what is going to happen afterwards.
But is that painful? Why?
That's not the only reason why you shouldn't do it, Emily. When you've been here longer, you'll see that our life here is to forget all that and to think only of what is ahead and be ready for what is ahead. When you've been here longer, you'll understand.
But Mother Gibbs, how can I forget that life? It's all that I know. It's all that I had.
Emily, it isn't wise. Really, it isn't.
But it's something I must know for myself. I'll choose a happy day anyway.
No. At least choose an unimportant day. Choose the least important day of your life. It will be important enough.
Well, then it can't be since I was married. Or since the baby was born. I can choose a birthday, though, can't I? I choose my 12th birthday.
All right. It is February 11th, 1899, a Tuesday. Is there any special time of day that you would like?
The whole day.
We'll begin at dawn. Now, if you remember, it had been snowing for days. It just started to clear up the night before, and they had just begun to plow the roads. The sun is coming up.
Why, there's Main Street. And there's Mr. Morgan's drugstore before he changed it. And the livery stable.
Yes, this is 1899, 14 years ago.
Oh, that's the town that I knew as I was a little girl. And there's the old white fence that used to be around our house. Oh, I've forgotten about that. I loved it so. Are they inside?
Yes. Your mother is getting things ready. She'll be making breakfast soon. And if you remember, your father has been gone for days. He's coming home on the early morning train.
No.
He'd gone to give a speech at his old college in Western New York, Clinton.
And look, there's Howie Newsom. And there's our policeman. But he's dead. He died.
Oh, Bessie. Good morning, Bill.
Morning, Howie.
You're up early.
Been rescuing a party. Darn near froze to death down by Polish town. Got drunk and lay out in the snowdrifts. Thought he was in bed when I shook him.
There's Joe Crowell.
Morning, Howie. Morning, Mr. Ward.
Morning,
Joe.
Children, Wally, Emily, it's time to get up.
Mama, I'm here. Well, how young Mama looks. I never knew Mama was ever that young.
You could come and dress by the kitchen fire if you'd like, but hurry. Morning, Mr. Newsome.
Good morning, Miss Webb.
Oh, it's cold.
It's 10 below by my barn, Miss Webb.
Think of it. You keep yourself wrapped up.
Come on, Bessie. Now giddy up.
Mama, I can't find my blue hair ribbon anywhere.
Just open your eyes, dear, that's all. I laid it out for you special on the dresser there. If it were a snake, it would bite you.
Yes. Yes.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Mr. Webb. You're up early.
Yes, I've just been back to my old college in New York State. Any troubles here?
Oh, I was called up this morning to rescue a Polish fella. Darn near frozen to death he was.
Well, we have to get that in the paper.
Well, it wasn't much.
Good morning, Mother.
How'd it go, Charles?
Oh, pretty good, I guess. I told him a few things. Everything all right here?
Yes. Can't think of anything special. Well, it's been right cold. Howie Newsome said it was 10 below over at his barn.
Well, it's colder than that at Hamilton College. Students' ears are falling off. It just isn't Christian. The paper have any mistakes in it?
None that I noticed. Coffee's ready when you want it. Don't forget it's Emily's birthday. Did you remember to get her something?
Yes, I got her something right here. Where is my girl? Where's my birthday girl?
Oh, don't interrupt her now, Charles. You can see her at breakfast. She's slow enough as it is. Children, hurry up. It is 7 o'clock and I do not want to have to call you again.
I can't bear it. They're all so young and beautiful. Why did they ever have to get old? Mama, Mama, I'm here. I'm grown up. I love you all, everything. I just can't look at everything hard enough. Can I go in?
Good morning, Mama. Well, there's my birthday girl. Happy birthday. Many happy returns. There's some surprises waiting for you on the kitchen table.
Mama, you shouldn't have. I can't.
But birthday or no birthday, I want you to eat your breakfast good and slow. I want you to grow up and be a good, strong girl. Oh, that in the blue paper, that's from your Aunt Clara. And I bet you can guess who brought the postcard album. I found it on the doorstep this morning when I went out to get the milk. George Gibbs must have come over pretty early on a cold morning. That was right nice of him.
Oh, George. I'd forgotten that.
Chew your bacon good and slow. It'll help keep you warm on a cold day.
Mama. Mama, just look at me for 1 minute as if you really saw me. Mama. 14 years have gone by. I'm dead. You're a grandmother, Mama. I married George Gibbs. And Wally. Wally's dead too. Mama, his appendix burst on a camping trip to Crawford Notch. We all felt just terrible about it. Don't you remember? But now, Mama, just for a minute, we're all together. Now just for a moment, let's be happy. Let's look at one another.
That in the yellow paper, that is something I found in the attic among your grandmother's things. You're old enough to wear it now, and, well, I thought you'd like it.
And this is from you. Why, Mama, it's beautiful. It's just what I wanted. It's lovely.
Hoped you'd like it. Hunted all over for it. Your Aunt Nora couldn't find one in Concord. I had to send all the way to Boston for it. Oh, and Wally has something for you too. He made it at manual training camp. Very proud of it. Make sure you make a big fuss over it. Your dad has something for you too. I don't even know what that is myself.
Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl?
Oh, here he comes.
I can't. I just can't go on. It goes so fast. We don't have time to look at one another. So all of that was going on and we never noticed it. Take me back up the hill to my grave. But first, wait. One last look. Goodbye. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, Grover's Corners. Mama and Papa. Goodbye to clocks ticking and to my butternut tree. And Mama's sunflowers. And to food and coffee and new iron dresses and hot baths and sleeping and waking up. Oh, Earth, you're too wonderful for anyone to realize you. Do human beings ever realize life while they live it? Every minute?
No. Saints and poets, maybe. They do, some.
I'm ready to go back.
Were you happy?
No. I should have listened to you. That's all human beings are, just blind people.
Look, it's clearing up. The stars are coming out.
Oh, Mr. Stimson, I should have listened to them.
Yes. Now you know. Now you know. That's what it was, to be alive, to move about in a cloud of ignorance, to go up and down, trampling on the feelings of those about you, to spend and waste time as though you had 1,000,000 years, to always be at the mercy of one self-centered passion or another. So now you know. That's the happy existence that you wanted to go back to. It's all ignorance and blindness.
That's not the whole truth, and you know it, Simon Stimson.
Emily, look at that star. I forget its name.
My boy Joel was a sailor. He knew them all. He used to sit on the porch in the evenings and tell them all by name. Yes, sir. Wonderful.
A star is mighty good company.
Oh, yes, yes, it is.
Look, there's one of them coming now.
That's funny. It's not time for them to be here.
Goodness gracious.
Mother Gibbs, it's George.
Dear, just rest yourself.
It's George.
And my Joel, who knew the stars, we used to say it took millions of years for that little speck of light to get down to Earth. Anybody could hardly believe it, but that's what he used to say, millions of years.
That's no way to behave.
He ought to be home.
Mother Gibbs,
What, Emily?
they don't understand, do they?
No, dear. They don't understand.
Well, almost everyone is asleep in Grover's Corners. There are a couple of lights on. Shorty Hawkins just waved through the train to Albany. And over at the livery stable, somebody is staying up late and talking. Yes. It is clearing up. Look at those stars. Doing their old crisscross in the sky. Scholars haven't settled on it yet, that they seem to think that there are no other living beings out there. Just chalk and fire. And that only this place is striving away. Striving with all of its might to make something out of itself. All that striving, it's so exhausting that every 16 hours everybody lays down and gets a rest. It is 11 o'clock in Grover's Corners, and everybody is resting in Grover's Corners. Tomorrow is another day. You go get a good rest too. Good night.